I remember the building being hit and moving 10 feet forward. And I guess I was in a state of shock. I couldn't figure out what had happened, why the building went forward, but then it went back into place. And I remember the secretary coming in screaming, "Ah!" But I told her everything was fine as far as I knew. But then I looked up outside of the windows and saw this glass, and it looked like somebody was emptying out their desk at the top of the building, and papers were flying out, and there was still no sense that there was a catastrophic event. And I'm debating whether or not do I bring my BlackBerry with me, that type of thing. I just grabbed my pocketbook and my briefcase and left. Of course, I had 10 flashlights, brought none of them with me. I left probably 10 minutes after the second tower was hit. So I thought we would just go to the stairwell and just walk on down. When we got to the stairwell, there were a lot of people in the stairwell, and it was moving very slowly. So I emailed some of the people I had sent down after the first hit, and they were only 10 floors down, even though they had left 40 minutes. So I'm thinking, there must be an issue here. There was never any point where we just walked down without stopping. There was never any point. Around the 6th or 7th floor, Tower 2 had collapsed. And nobody told us that. But at that point, we were thrown down a flight of stairs. And that's when the lights had gone out. And there was water that was rushing. I guess it was emergency water from the sprinkler system or something. It was coming everywhere. And we just knew it collapsed. There were these huge pipes that burst, no light. And I guess as we started to move forward, there was a door that was blocking the stairway. And that's the point I thought we were in trouble at that point. Either we were going to drown or we were going to suffocate. So we started to go down. They said the door is blocked. Then they told us to go back up to the next floor. We were a little reluctant to go back to the next floor, to go up higher. But we did, and that's when I ran into David Lim. I never knew David Lim, police officer, prior to that. He just popped out of I don't know where. He said, "Come this way." So that, instantly gave me a comfort level because he knew the building in and out. I knew that he was leading us to another stairwell. We might have been in stairwell B. I don't know where he moved us to. But I just remember him taking us through a maze. I remember us even walking through a locker room. I had seen lockers, and there was glass and broken stuff everywhere. So we had to, here I am, my little high heels, my skirt, climbing over stuff. There's water coming down. I see some women taking off their shoes, and gotten rid of their shoes, so their feet are getting cut, walking over cables, and we don't even know what. So we came walking through this room, and I guess he was leading us to another stairwell. And at one point they told us to stop, that to go through the stairwell, they were only leading them one at a time. The current of the water was so strong, I guess they didn't want anyone to get swept away. Or we eventually came into what I thought was outside. The room was completely white. I guess it was all that white soot. We didn't see any doors or anything. We're just here alone in this room. So that's when I said, let's not panic. Let's look for footprints to see if others didn't see anything. I said, okay, now we can start screaming. But finally, we saw a little flashlight, and then we heard a voice that said, if you can hear the voice, follow the light. So I don't know where a door appeared, or we started walking. I guess the closer we got to this light, you finally saw a way to get out. And I don't know, we climbed over some desk, and I don't even know where, and came out in front of World Trade Center 7, I guess it was, under the overhang. I started to just walk straight, I figured I'd just go down the steps over to walk around the plaza. They said, "Lady, stop. There's stuff coming down." And I looked around towards the fountain, and it just looked totally like Beirut. I'm like, oh my God. So they pulled us back, had us walk around the overhang of all the buildings. And I mean, that's just, I didn't see bodies, but I saw twisted metal and stuff. At one point, my shoe got caught in some kind of, it was either wire or metal, glass. So Patty had to stop and help me. We were still holding on to each other, going. And then they took us down those. So we walked around 7 World Trade, went down to those famous stairs now, and then because you didn't feel safe until you went down the stairs. You were actually on the street, you know, and it was Church Street. A little symbolic. So it was like, you know, breathing, not really taking it in, but it's just been intense. After we were starting to walk, I mean, I kind of looked, but I just wanted to get the hell out of there. And I was figured out, okay, where am I going to meet up with staff? There's a lot of staff heading to ride. I was in sort of that mode. And some guy started saying, "Run for your lives." It was a policeman. I'm like, run for your lives? We just spent 45 minutes in the Tower of Hell, and I'm going to run? Give me a minute to catch my breath. And then I looked around, and there's a tower coming down. We saw these big black clouds coming. I ran 16 New York blocks,